Great morning, everybody. Why, everywhere I go, I say something, you all say something. What is the reason? I said, what did I say? What are you saying? Good morning. Why? Can't you all say great morning? Only 3 people said. All of you together, great morning. Great morning, sir. Thank you. Respected principal of the Ugly College of Technology, the other members of the faculty, and above all, dear students. I like the tagline, igniting minds for excellence, because that is my passion, how to ignite human minds. Right from childhood, my passion is not material, it's not money, it's not, what you can earn, but it is how to create change, particularly in the human mind. It is the most difficult challenge, but it is the most rewarding also. You cannot measure it on any instrument, but it is going to have a lifetime reward and productivity. So I am glad that the management of this college has had the vision to think in terms of such a forum, to invite outsiders, not necessarily connected with technology, to attempt to ignite young minds like you. Your mind is combustible. It is the most combustible commodity or product in the whole of the universe. Many New Age thinkers, they teach you all mythology. Like, how many of you have read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari? Now, I'm not decrying them, but they're teaching mythology, a new type of mythology. They're saying that if you attempt something great, the universe itself will conspire to create opportunities for you to realize that. Of course, their intention is to say that if you attempt something and put all your passion, if your heart catches fire, your mind catches fire, then things will happen in due course. That is true. But the universe itself is as dead as a dodo. It is only a material thing. It doesn't have the capacity that you and I have to think, to move even our limbs. Neither the earth, nor the stars, nor all the other heavenly bodies, however mighty they are, however full of fire they are, full of Agni, they cannot move a finger. They do not have a finger to help you or to harm you. Yes, they can harm you by sending in other kinds of rays, like the sun itself is the source of our energy. But the certain rays can harm us, can cause skin cancer. But the universe cannot help us. Who can help us? Who can help us? Please answer this question. My sessions are always on the Socratic method, where I don't, lecture, but I ask questions and draw it out from you, because the answers are within you. Who can help us? Only you yourself. Neither your parents, nor your teachers, nor your best friends can help you. Only you yourself. That is, the locus of control lies deep within man or not outside him. That is why each individual has more potential than the stars itself. This is a thought process that I have evolved over the last 30 years. And your thought process is what has to be changed if your life is to be ignited. Otherwise, you'll be like driftwood. Now you're listening to me, you're thinking about these concepts. You're watching a Rajinikanth movie, what you'll be thinking about? Your thought process will be going in that direction. Suppose you're watching something very sleazy, then your thought process for the next 24 hours will be on those lines, pornography or whatever. Or suppose you are in dialogue with somebody who's cracking all kinds of vulgar jokes. Your thought process will run in that line. So our minds are so combustible that whatever it comes in contact with, it catches fire. And therefore we have to be careful what we come in contact with. The fire can sustain life, but it can also destroy us. And therefore, you must handle fire with care. And that fire should be something that burns from within us, not from outside us. Our source of motivation should not be someone outside, like me. It should be from deep within you. If you take an egg of any species, if you try to break it from outside, the life is destroyed. But if the life, the organic life from that single cell begins to develop from within, it will become a beautiful creature, whether a chicken or a human being or any other species on the earth. So science and technology does not give you answers to ignite the human mind and heart. Science only teaches you to look at a microscopic level. Look with focus on a particular material object. And because of its extreme emphasis on empiricism, sometimes you miss the wood for the trees. You miss the fundamental universal truths. And that is why it is important for colleges, institutions like this, to bring in people who are not technology savvy, who are not, ingrained or conditioned by the very subjects which is your bread and butter. That is why when I interact with even IITians or IIM people, I find there is a lot of glitches in their thought process. Their worldview is very constricted and limited. And therefore, we need to create transformation from deep within. The purpose of education, my friends, is not information, but it is transformation. And that transformation has to start from deep within our hearts and minds. I'll tell you a story. Once there was a famous king, and he was very interested in knowledge and wisdom. So he told his ministers and his philosophers, his advisors, counselors, the most learned men of the kingdom, that you bring all the knowledge, the essence of all knowledge to me in one form, in one place. So they undertook an exercise for several months, and they summed up everything and they brought it to him in a volume, a thick volume. He said, this is too long. You bring it back in a shorter form so that I can digest it. And they went back and they came back with 10 pages. He said, this is too long. 10 pages is too long. How can you remember 10 pages? Unless you remember, retain it, how will it become a passion? How will it become a fire? Unless it is working in your mind and heart 24/7 into the number of days you are living, how is it a Agni? How is it a fire? A passion which burns in you continually. You cannot give out light unless you first burn. Many people are trying to give out light without burning from within. The sun is a source of so much energy because it is continually burning. And therefore, these advisors were a little discouraged, but they went back and said, let us make another attempt. Then they summed up everything, the essence of all knowledge and wisdom, and brought it in one full page. And this time the king said, this is still too long. You have to sum it up, the essence of all knowledge and wisdom. They went back, they came back with one paragraph. One paragraph also he said it is too long. Then finally they understood and they came back the next time with just one line, 5 words. You know what is that? Anyone, what is the wisest thing that can be written in your heart and mind which will become a fire and passion? There's no free lunch. That is this thing. No free lunch. Okay, that's a good one. What else? This is your most fundamental belief. Is that your most fundamental belief? There's no free lunch means? It implies that? It means that? You have to work hard. So you get the sun's rays because you are working hard. You're getting air and water and all because you're working very hard. However hard you work, whether you can get air and water. All the best things in life, by working hard, whether we will get it. Love, air, water are all coming free of cost. So not only there is free lunch, free dinner, free breakfast, free tea. All the time we are getting a lot of things free. Are we paying for the oxygen we are breathing now? Are we paying? Now imagine that you meet with an accident, God forbid. Be careful when you're going on this road. A lot of accidents. Don't try to show off on your bike. So many youngsters misoriented and misled. They are looking at each other now. Zoom, zoom, zoom. The moment they see some girls passing, they will just do this and that. Stunts. And what happens when you fall down, you hit something, then you go into ICU. And there you have, what do you have? How will you breathe? Will you breathe naturally? What you're now getting free, no free lunch there. How will you breathe? Ventilator, how much you have to pay per day for the ventilator alone? In any of the hospitals on this stretch? Any idea? Anyone here who has been on ventilator? Nobody. It costs something like, in the most cheapest hospitals, it will cost something like 3,000 to 5,000. If you go to Apollo, they will take your life, 10,000, 15,000 per day in ICU. There, of course, in such situations, there is no free lunch. Of course, the essence of it is not so literal. It means that you got to work hard. You got to persist. Now, any other examples? Any other examples? You youngsters, tell me, any of the ladies and gents, please tell me what are the one line which you think is the wisest thing in your mind? Or is your mind a vacuum? Nature abhors the vacuums. Definitely there's something running in your mind. That is your essential self-talk. Don't be afraid because I analyzed this and reduced it to pieces. I am not going to do that next time. Please tell me. Unless you tell me, I cannot proceed. What are the other things? The most wise thing you have heard, youngster, with the glasses, you're looking wise. What is the wisest thing in your which you have learnt in your life? How old are you? 18, only 18, very good. 18 is the right age to think afresh, to catch the fire. So what is the wisest thing you have learnt in 18 years? In one line. If you can't say in English, you tell in Tamil. Say something. Or anyone, any volunteers to save him?
During examination, sir.
Yeah, okay, Pinadi good. You want to say something?
My examination, sir.
Beg your pardon?
In my exam.
My exam. That is the wisest thing. All of you are understanding what I am speaking? Or you want me to speak in Tamil? My Tamil will be so bad that you will tell me, please speak in English. So, Pinadi kodunga aga. Give the mic there.
Excuse me, sir. Sir. To believe in myself.
To believe
in myself.
Self-belief. Good.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
So that he has come up with 2 words, self-belief.
Sir.
Any other?
No pain, no gain, sir.
No pain, no gain. That is similar to what he said, that no free lunch.
Sir.
Similar, okay, it's good. No pain, no gain, okay. Self-esteem, similar to what he said, self-belief. Correct. Your esteem is the limit, the ceiling of your achievement. If you esteem yourself as an average person, your achievement will be below average. If you esteem yourself as an extraordinary person, your achievement will be little less than. Self-esteem is the lid of leadership, they say. Lid of leadership. It's called the lid of leadership. Why? If you put a lot of flies in a bottle and put a cap on it, the flies will keep trying to move up and down, oscillate between the bottom of the jar, glass jar, and the top. When you remove the lid, what will the flies do? Whether it will escape? Will it escape? No, it will continue to oscillate between that point and this point. Even though it can freely escape, it is limited by its own thinking and conditioning. Similarly, elephant. When an elephant is young, you tie it with a big chain. It keeps trying to escape from the tree or the pole to which it is tied. When it fails, it understands that it cannot escape. When it becomes big, do you have to tie it with a big chain or small chain? Even a small chain will do. The elephant will not try to escape. It has been trained and conditioned. That is what education does. It conditions you to think that you are average people. Only one person in each class, the teachers will say is first class, is top rank. He will be given all the encouragement. How many of you have experienced that? Only one or two people, those are doing very well. They will be encouraged, they will be given all credits, all plaudits by parents, teachers, and the rest of society. But the rest of the class, they considered all average. So what will happen to a nation with a majority of the people young like you? 18-year-olds are a large number in the young population of India's demographic profile. And if we work with you 18-year-olds, you can transform India. So what you have to do is self-belief should expand. Yes, these are all good points. But what that king was given was 5 words: be at it, beat it. Be at it, beat it. In Tamil it means Ivariru, Ide Tavir. The essence of all wisdom is contained in these 5 words. The essence of the Tirukural. How many couplets are there in the Tirukural? 1330. How many of you remember 1330 couplets? Anybody? Nobody. How many of you can remember 10? 10. Okay, how many? That is number is how many? About 10 people can remember 10. How many can remember 5? About 10 can remember 5. How many can remember 2? About 5 or 6 can remember 2. How many can remember at least 1? 1. Say only about another 10 people are saying they can remember 1. And how many can remember none? None. I think the majority, nobody has, some of the people don't have hands, I think. Any challenge people are all here? Majority are not raising their hand. So that means majority can remember none. So what does this show? If you cannot remember something, will it change your mind and heart? Can you catch fire? If you don't remember it, can it impact your mind and life? Unless you retain it. That is why the world's philosophies have not changed the world. The world's religions also have not changed the world. The world's ethics and talking about ethics and moral values have not changed the world. People continue to get involved in sexual scandals. People continue to get involved in scams, corruption. People get involved in all kinds of controversies. They do not know how to talk because they do not know how to think. And therefore, leadership, to be transformed, you have to first transform the thought process. And be at it is the God-given key. I tried millions of times to find a way to discover the pulse of the mind. How do you know whether a person is alive or not physically? You take the pulse. But what about the mind pulse? I said I created this concept of mind pulse. The pulse of the mind. At the age of 17, 18, I started searching for it. It took me, first I discovered be at it when I was around 18, 19. Then I knew it is part of the key to the human mind, which even psychiatrists, psychologists have not discovered. After 13 years of meditating on be at it, B-E-A-T, it, I discovered beat it in the year 1994. Now this is the key to develop all your multiple quotients. The year 1994, coincidentally without my knowledge, Daniel Goleman had published the largest selling non-fiction book in history called Emotional Intelligence, by which he popularized a concept which was actually originated by 2 other psychiatrists, psychologists. He got permission from them to use the term emotional intelligence. When we grow up, At your age, we were told that IQ is the holy grail. It is the most important thing for success in life. But Daniel Goleman, who was a New York Times columnist and trained in psychology in one of the Ivy League universities of the University of the US, he, through a lot of study, arrived at the conclusion that EQ is more important than IQ for success in life. EQ means what? Emotional quotient, not intelligence quotient. IQ is constant. By the time you're 18, it is constant. But EQ is like a muscle. The more you use a muscle, what happens to the muscle? It will become strong. Who is the strongest man here? Who is going regularly to the gym? Anyone here? Any bodybuilders? Yourself? Your friends are nudging you. Please stand up. Let me see your whether you have six-pack. He doesn't seem to have six-pack. He has a three-pack like me, I think. I'm the world's first three-pack. Thank you. So just like a muscle, if the more you use a muscle, the more it develops. The more you use your emotional muscles, the more it develops. The more you use your mind consists of what? Intellect, emotions, the emotional brain, and then willpower. The more you use these three, the more it becomes developed. So if you use your intellect more and more and more, it becomes like the equivalent of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who is Arnold Schwarzenegger? He is called the Mr. Universe at one time, but now muscles make him look like a woman because of age. So muscles will deteriorate after some time. But your brain power and your emotional power will not deteriorate. Till your death, you can keep on expanding. And even when the Agni consumes your dead body, your mind will continue to impact the world. Your legacy, your ideas will impact the world because you have developed your mind. So I said, if I can find a way to use my brain on my average brain, at that time my brain was a very average brain. I had never stood first even in class of 40 or 50 students. But within less than 1 year, by the grace of God, I stood first out of 1 lakh students in the whole state of Karnataka. Then your self-esteem grows. Your self-belief grows because of your, what you achieve, the milestones that you cross. Then I said, let me be the first student in Bangalore who achieved not only a rank, but also National Talent Search Scholarship. So I applied for that. My classmates were laughing at me. You are applying like that video, very nice video. You produced it for today's function. That's good. How so many people became ultimately great in history, in science, like Einstein, in sports, like Michael Jordan. In different fields, they were considered failures at one point or other. They were rejected. But when you are rejected, don't be dejected. Failure is not final or fatal. Failure is a way to learn. I had failed so many times in so many ways. But every failure taught me more, gave me more strength. Once I was walking in front of the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi as a young ASP, trying to protect him. At that time, the world's first human bomb or woman bomb exploded. 100 steel pellets still in my body. As a reminder of May 21st, 1991. People thought this fellow is written off, his future is gone as an IPS officer. But within less than 1 year, God gave me a new idea, Friends of Police, FOP, for the first time anywhere in the world, in order to build bridges between people and the police. How many of you have heard of FOP, Friends of Police? How many of you have joined Friends of Police in your area? Anyone? Yeah, there is one or two at least. Every audience I see, at least a few. Today onwards, all of you should be, you say the word, all of you should be what? FOP. FOP has multiple meanings. It is all the identities that a person should be as an ideal enlightened citizen. One, you should be a friend of yourself. If you are not your own friend, can you be another person's friend? Can you be another person's friend if you are not your own friend? Yes or no? Who is your worst enemy? Who is your worst enemy? Tell me the answer. Your own weaknesses are your own worst enemy. So unless you deal with your own inner weaknesses, you will become an enemy to others also. Anger, lust, lack of sexual, self-control. Look at one person, Tarun Tejpal, a man who should have been a mature person, who has probed so many sensational cases, who built a big brand of a journalist in the field of journalism. How did he behave? So that is why the difference between best and beast. What is the letter difference between best and beast? A. What does that A stand for? Don't laugh. You could also be in that same position if you do not catch fire today. Youngster there, don't laugh. Tomorrow, the same thing can happen to you after when you have become CEO of a company. Look at Fanish Murthy. What has happened to him? Again and again, he's caught, he's paying out, bailing out. And you can't be blamed because the media and the movies and everything else is feeding you all the time. All the wrong attitudes, your wrong conditioning and training. So A is for attitude. So to train your attitude, be at it, beat it, is the module. Be at it means be positive continuously. Beat it means beat negative continuously. First time in world history, in the history of thought, both plus and minus is brought together. Plus is reinforcing your strengths. Minus is same as, what is minus? Plus. So this is the first time that both are simultaneously happening. Before that it didn't work effectively because the West has taught you only positive thinking. Positive thinking produces people like Tiger Woods, who excels in golf but fails in his private life. Bill Clinton, excellent communicator, great lawyer, good president, but he is not able to control his own passions. The wrong kind of fire will destroy you from within. The wrong kind of fire, if the right kind of fire does not capture you. So your best investment is to develop the right type of fire, because otherwise the wrong type of fire will destroy you. Fire is a double-edged weapon. It can either create or destroy. And all these lives have been, their potential have been destroyed because they had great qualities. They developed only on the positive side. On their strengths, they leveraged, but they did not deal with their weaknesses. So I'll make you understand this concept very easily. Now, what is the one thing you are doing continuously from birth till death? Breathing. Now you breathe in oxygen, is it positive or negative? It's positive. You breathe out carbon dioxide? It's not negative. It is also negative. What is negative? How is breathing out negative? Because you are breathing out the carbon dioxide. Without breathing out, can you breathe in again? So continuously your mind should be on this mode. From now onwards till death, you can practice EQ thinking or equilibrium thinking. You can go to the website eqthinking.com. You can join my Facebook page EQ Thinking. Every day I post new lessons of life on these pages, EQ Thinking on Facebook. All of you are welcome to send your invitation to join. And you will be put on the right track. You will continually develop your emotional muscle, your intellectual muscle, your spiritual muscle, so that you become a well-balanced person. That is why as soon as I wrote it in my diary, I was in uniform as SP Ramnath. Soon after I started the Friends of Police movement. And I wrote EQ thinking or equilibrium thinking instead of positive thinking. That is the caption I gave. And so today onwards you practice equilibrium thinking continually. How do you practice it? How many hours you travel to reach this campus? Minimum average is 1 hour, isn't it? During that 1 hour, what you are thinking about? You are looking out and seeing a poster of some film star, then immediately you'll be thinking about that movie. What is the latest movie showing? Which is the latest movie? So you'll be thinking about that movie or the latest song. These are the things, fires that are burning, small fires, bonfires that are burning within you. But instead of that, Even though you're seeing all that, don't be a monkey mind. See, most of us have a monkey mind. What is a monkey mind? Korangu buddhi. You have to turn your monkey mind into a monk mind. Monk mind means completely focused, and you practiced attached detachment. You focus on your goal to excel as an engineer, as a technologist, as an innovator, as an entrepreneur, as a contributor, and automatically results will follow. You'll be like a magnet who attract opportunities. It is not the universe that is bringing opportunities your way, but you yourself are a magnet. You will repel the negative and you will attract the positive. This is the magnetism. And you will find so many things happening in your life which are miraculous. Like I started Friends of Police, I thought I need about 10 lakhs to start a global headquarters. And immediately what happened? Somewhere in United Kingdom, the Home Department starts a new award called Queen's Award on the occasion of the Queen's Golden Jubilee, 60th year or 50th year. And they instituted an award of 15,000 sterling pound in 2002. And they opened the competition not only to British police, but throughout the world, all 55 Commonwealth nations, ministerial staff as well as police personnel. The application comes to us also in Chennai, Tamil Nadu and other places. I fill it up not knowing I will be selected. But when the results came on BBC, MSN throughout the world, it came that I had won the first inaugural award outside the United Kingdom. So that is again the grace of God. When you are consistent, persistent, sincere, God sees. It is not the universe, but there is a person upstairs, an old man upstairs, who sees how sincere and persistent you are. See, who are the great inventors? They were ones who had not studied a lot, who had not gone to engineering colleges like that, but they persisted in looking for the secrets that God had hidden in nature. And then he saw whoever was most persistent, he allowed them to succeed. That is be at it. Be at it is a formula for success in any domain, but beat it only completes it. You not only got to be at it, you got to beat it. The first it does not stand for information technology, it stands for positive. Be at the positive. You lead from the positive, you deal with the negative. You leverage on your strengths and you also address your weaknesses. Your weaknesses may be whatever, your thought process may be weak, your language skills may be weak, your ability to speak to people and solve problems may be weak, your problem solving skills, your creative skills may be weak. So like a person who goes to a gym and works out to develop different parts of his body, muscle, similarly you address different weaknesses throughout the day. You don't have to wait for a particular quiet place or quiet time. You don't need a guru. This is ATM. What is ATM? Anytime money illa. This is anytime motivation, anytime meditation, which becomes all the time meditation, all the time motivation. See, while I am speaking to you, inside me, that meditation is still working. So round the clock, it will be working, even in your sleep. That is why you are seeing dreams. Till now, there is no fire. So you don't see dreams with passion. You see all disconnected dreams. But once you practice this, even your dreams will be aligned with your goals. And you will get power even while you are sleeping, 24 hours. The mind is a biocomputer, it works on a binary pattern. What is binary language of computer? 0, 1. The human mind works on a binary pattern. What is that pattern? Is it 0 and 1? That is why these IITs, IIMs and all they fail, because they are working only on their numerical strengths. But the mind works on an alpha pattern, binary alpha pattern. Alpha means words that can be understood. Words have power. It is my words that are igniting your mind and heart. Words are my bullets which give life to you. They penetrate your heart and mind. There is no bulletproof thing which will prevent it from penetrating your mind and heart. You cannot protect yourself from these words. So be at it, beat it. You practice it round the clock. There are 5 methods of practicing it. When you breathe in, you are positive. When you breathe out the opposite quality. So how many people inga கோபம் பிரச்சனையா இருக்கு? Anger is a problem. Anger. It is good to be angry, but how you show anger, that is what makes a difference. You can be angry but not dangry. What is dangry? Dangry means dangerously angry. The anger should not become a fire that consumes you and your potential and your relationships. Once my father-in-law, who was heading a big company in Cochin, he called one of his employees, come like this. That man was an ex-army officer. And he, in his mind, that meant that he is the inferior person. He got so angry, he said, I don't want your job, I'm leaving it. Just because he was called like this. So anger can destroy many things, dangerously anger. Now many people, when they come, last week a photographer came to take 300 photographs of me for my second book. I've written 10 books. So every day I write 2 pages. Every 100 days it turns into one management book. I get the inspiration from the Bible. Every day I take one verse, that is uni-verse, one verse, meditate on it and write 2 pages. That is the source of my power. And so this friend, this photographer said, sir, ungala madri gentle aal eppadi police la effective irukum. And he just turned around and I said, hey! One sound and he said, sir, enakku heart attack madri aichu sir. I didn't know that you have so much power within you. How many of you felt your heart shaking? So where the power came from? Is it from outside? It's from within. So same time you can look gentle. See, most of you are like coconuts. Coconut theriyuma, coconut. Tanga. தேங்காய் எப்படி இருக்கு? வெளியில ஹார்டா சாஃப்டா? உள்ள சாஃப்ட். But the way you should be is you should be soft outside. You should look like me, gentle. But உள்ள எப்படி இருக்கணும்? உள்ள வந்து firm, hard. If any of you do any rioting, if I am forced to, I may have to kill you also. I'll order my men, aim, shoot. If it is required, by God's grace, so far I have not killed a single person. Even though just by my voice I can disperse mobs. I'm not boasting. In Sivagasi I was having my lunch. And in Virudnagar, my first district, 30 kilometers away, Sivagasi, there was a big blast in the firecrackers factory. 18 people I heard had died. I rushed to the spot. Lunchtime, most of the police personnel you don't find in the station. They didn't come. I had only myself driver. And the mob was attacking the factory office and ransacking it. They take an opportunity that this time we can make merry and take away all the property, cash and all that. I just use my voice. You want a demonstration? How many of you don't want? And I just used it, and immediately the mob dispersed. So that is what the skill, you have developed these hard skills, not just soft skills. Don't call it soft skills, these are hard skills. You must be hard inside, firm, strong. You must not be like a shapeless amoeba. Many people, personality is like amoeba. According to the audience, they will change the shape. So don't be like an amoeba. Have your own thing, but keep on developing from within. Increase your strength, decrease your weakness continuously. How? Every breath you breathe in strength, every breath you breathe out your weakness. Anger, breathe out stress, tension. How many are afraid whether you'll get jobs or not after 5 years? You already started worrying, see? Already started worrying, first year. So by the end of the 5th year, this weakens you so much, it reduces your self-belief, your confidence. So when you go for the interview, they ask you any question, you will be shivering. So now onwards, you reprogram your mind. I've given you, this is the software for the human mind. Bill Gates has discovered only Microsoft and software for the machine But which is more important, software for the mind or software for the machine? Mind. Now I have created this software for the mind. You can utilize it throughout your life. When can you start practicing it? Right now. Till when can you practice it? Till death you can practice it. So every time you practice your emotional muscle, every day I do workout for nearly 1 hour. 1 hour devotion, prayer, meditation, 1 hour exercise. And that's how I developed this 3-pack body. I'm not aiming for 6-pack. So the next thing I want to teach you is, the first thing is EQ thinking. You can practice it even walking, exercising, every exercise. Anybody, any volunteer, please come up to show. Anybody doing exercise regularly? Vanga, vanga, that black shirt. Mudadi vanga. You jump on the stage and then do some exercises you are doing regularly. Demo. Huh? Weightlifting. Okay, do weightlifting. You imagine that's a weight, 100 kilo weight there. What weight you can lift? How much weight you can lift? 25. Anybody here, girl or boy, who is 25 kilos? Okay, you imagine that's 25 kilo weight. You lift it. Lift it properly. Okay, thank you. Your name? Jayant. Okay, well done. Yeah, but your muscles are not developing. What is the reason? Huh? Fitness. Okay. So, see, every exercise involves stretching. Stretching is be at it. And then you release, contracting. The muscles return to a normal thing, contracting. Stretching, contracting. So, be at it is equal to stretching. At the time you're doing that, you practice be calm. When you are contracting, beat anger. Be cool, beat tension. Be wise, beat folly. Be loving, beat hatred. Be joyful, beat depression. Always this binary pattern. Think like that. Then automatically your mind will set you up for power, for fire, for passion. Energy will flow from within you. And you will access the ATM within you. To access an ATM, what do you need? You need a ATM card and money as well as PIN. What is your PIN? What is the meaning of PIN? What is the expansion? No, it means personally identified negatives. Your own negatives you identify. If I identify it, you'll point back 10 fingers at me. If your teacher identifies, you'll point back what you are talking about anger. You're not able to control your anger. If you tell your children or family members also, they will point back for 10 fingers at you. But you identify it, and then they become nodal points of growth. You turn all your weaknesses into strengths. The purpose of education is to turn an ass into an asset. But the yet is yet to happen. Yet means ET. That is why through equilibrium thinking, ET, you can become really an asset, not an ass. Most of the people in the world who are educated are only educated asses. Instead, you become an asset. Asset means no liability. Nothing will embarrass you. Nothing will bring you down in your own esteem or the esteem of your family or the esteem of the world. So you will be able to constantly address your inner weaknesses as well as develop your. It is not negative thinking, but it is both together. Positive. Reinforce your strength. All of you have some strengths. That is why you have come to this engineering college. You have some levels of intelligence, emotional intelligence, but that is not enough. It is only base level. You have to improve, keep on improving. There's no limit to improvement. In 3rd standard, a teacher told me a sentence which has stuck in my mind. The biggest room in the world. What is the biggest room in the world? Is it this hall? Which is the biggest room in the world? The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So you keep on improving whatever you're doing. See, method of study I can teach you within 5 minutes, and all of you will become, hopefully, rank winners. How many of you want to be rank winners? Only 10 want to be rank winners. Others can ignore this method. This is a new method of study which I have patented and developed in the year 1980, which enabled me to move from just high first class to first rank first in the entire state. After that also, every interview I attended, every exam I attended, this method I used with great success. Today, a scientist who has done a master's from IIT and from Stanford, worked with 2 Nobel laureates, is doing research in Alpha Group, where I'm an advisor. He's doing research with 1 control group and 1 sample, teaching them my method. The method is called sequential learning reinforcement. Till now you are engineering, how many subjects you are having? How many branches you are having here? 6 branches. And how many, 6 branches, okay. So which are the branches? Electrical? Civil. So what are the main topics in, say, mechanical? What are the main topics? Have you seen at least your syllabus by now? How many people have read your syllabus? Entire syllabus you have read, only 3 people, good. 3 people have read the entire syllabus. How many months since they started this first year? This year. Which month? 7, 8 months. So after 7, 8 months, 3 people have read the syllabus. That is a good thing. And so the syllabus la enna irukku? Yaar and 3 per kai thooknanga? What is there in the syllabus? Subjects, what are the topics? No, in one subject you take and tell me the main categories.
Any one subject enough, sir?
Any one subject.
In EDC, electron devices, we have about transistors, PN junction diodes, special transistors, like that.
Okay, that I'll give you an example now. Thank you. So you take, for all these things you have to learn the definition, isn't it? Then you have to learn the explanation. Then what are the other concepts of that? Concepts. Then what? There are theories, there are diagrams. So you take the main categories, definitions. Then the entire subject you write down. First you break down the syllabus into all the topics for which you have to learn the definition. Then all the topics for which you have to learn the explanation. All the topics where you have to learn the assumptions. Then you have to learn the diagrams. You first write it. Break down the entire syllabus into main categories and subtopics. Now if there are 10 subtopics under, say, transistors in electronics. Now when you must write and study. How many of you write and study? Only 2 or 3. Now your exam, is it oral or written? Written. So why you're orally studying? You must write and study. 1 time writing, you'll 10 time reading. And write neat notes as if it's an examination. Draw margin. I created the equivalent of the palm top in the year 1980. That time no palm top. By dividing the foolscap sheet into 4 sides, 4 quarters, so it will be fit into my palm. Draw margin. And then when I study subtopic in category 1 definition, I write the main points, key points, sum it up in my own words neatly. Then I write subtopic 2 in category 1 definition, and after writing it, I review item 1. When I go to 3, I'll review item 1, 2 and 3. When I go to item number 4, I'll review 1, 2, 3 and then again 4. 5th item again I'll do that. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So there are 10 topics. How many revisions you would have done? How many revisions? 8, is it? Anybody? Any of the teachers? It's some formula, n minus 1. I'm not good in maths. It runs into hundreds. it run to definitely about 99 or plus. It's a very high number. So however dull you are, your mind is not very sharp. By the time you've done 100 revisions, can you afford to forget it? Even in your sleep, you will be awakened and you will remember the content. So you bring together all the concepts of the subject, you're dividing it in a specialized way you're studying. First concepts, then the theories, then the assumptions, the differences, diagrams. So it becomes a specialist in each cognitive input. You become a specialist. You reinforce. So when you see the question paper, you know what happens is normally the mind is such a wonderful organ. It starts working the moment you get up and stops working the moment you see a question paper. But now what will happen? Your mind will reassemble like an email. How an email works? When you send it out, what happens? It becomes smaller packages. And then when it only at a delivery point, it reassembles itself and becomes the exact text that you sent. Like that, you are reassembling everything when you are asked in an interview or an examination, all the concepts that you have learned. And therefore, this is called, again, this is an extension of EQ thinking. All my processes are because of EQ thinking. Continual reinforcement, moral, ethical, spiritual, emotional reinforcement, and depleting the weakness, the negative point. So you spend more time on studying what you're weak in. And you don't just stick to a syllabus, you add some more points so that you're not studying just for marks. So this software they're going to develop in this alpha group will teach the student how to distribute their time also between their strong subjects and weak subjects, and how they have to reinforce as they go. So this software, how many people think it will be useful for you? How many people think? Only 3. Say, most of the people don't have hands. Only 3 or 4. Be more energetic. Be more responsive. Don't be apathetic. The Indian problem is apathy. Don't react to anything. You react to all useless things. Anything positive, Indian mentality, does not react. Apathy. Be more energetic and responsive if your life has to change. Only then it will happen. You cannot put yourself on a fast trajectory by just being what you are today. You have to change. This is what I realized from your responses. You're ashamed. If I raise my hand, what will my that fellow is also thinking the same thing. That's why he's not raising his hand. Peer group pressure. They will make fun of me if I raise my hand that I am a keen student. This is the mentality that is keeping you down. Your peers never want you to go forward. Your best friends don't want you to do better than them. I went ahead of all my group because I thought ahead. I didn't bother about my popularity. And today most of them, they have fizzled out. They might even have got IIT, JEE first. They may be working in the United States. But their impact is not there. So don't be worried about peer group pressure. You must break free and fly on higher orbits, higher trajectories. Today, many of my ideas, even the biggest minds in the world, are challenged by these ideas. I sent it to one former scientist, and I don't want to discuss the thing. Till now, he has not reacted because he's got a complex. When I gave him the EQ thinking CD, he heard it. He's a scientist and regarded very high. So he said, "Idu romba nalla irukku." I said, "Edukara nalla irukku in the EQ thinking?" He said, "In life there's a rhythm, in science there is a rhythm. If there is that rhythm in this thought process, therefore it is very good." When I asked him to give a written endorsement, he refused to give. But his predecessor, without knowing me, just listening to the CD, he sent me a written endorsement. I'm talking about someone at the highest level in the whole country. So you must not be, your attitudes only determine your altitude. So the final concept I'm going to talk to you about is exenomics. EQ thinking led me to this method of reinforcement of studies, which means academic excellence. And it can be used even for preparation by the faculty. Now the faculty is relying on last year's notes. You must not do that, it becomes stale. Every time you go to the class, you review again and again all the previous slides. all the previous point and see what fresh material you can bring, what creative angle you can bring to it. What is the application of knowledge? Today, most of the stuff we learn in school, we are not utilizing it in our daily life. That is why I created a new subject for the world, which will reinvent education, management and economics. It's called Exenomics. Yaro spelling solla mudiyuma? Exenomics spelling. What is spelling of Exenomics? Anyone stand up and tell loudly. Anybody? Not even one person willing to tell the spelling? When I am giving you so much, you are not willing to give back to me. Why should I speak any further? I am giving my life energy. I am pouring my life into you. I am not just talking. The words are the weapons. Exenomics, what is the spelling? Any one person stand up. Let me see if there is one person with some guts and courage. You are a student? Okay. Okay, tell me spelling. Good. That is why he is a leader. He is introducing, he is thinking, become leaders. Don't just be part of the crowd. That's why Bill Gates said, don't make fun of the nerds. Nerds means the padipist. Because sooner or later you will be working under one. The ones who are focused, who are serious, they are the ones under whom you will be working. Bill Gates now is able to employ people all over the world. Why? Because he was a nerd. Don't be part of the herd. Rather be a nerd. So Exenomics means is the pursuit of excellence, is the study of excellence. See, igniting minds for excellence. But people don't know how to knit it together. Education today makes you mediocre only. It is teaching you to, accumulate information and knowledge. Not how to be excellent. Because even the IIMs and IITs, they tell the world that these are my best students and they are getting the highest paid job. That means that such a signal for institutions all over the country to only pursue high income jobs. That will not produce excellence. Exenomics is a new subject which I created or conceptualized in the year 2006, and I've written about it in the latest university news. Do you get university news here? University, latest special issue University News has my article on it. You can probably get it on the net also. So I said Exenomics, a new subject to revolutionize education. That's the title. It will revolutionize education. Today now the electrical engineer doesn't know what is the mechanical engineer study. But for a solution in electronics, you need some knowledge of mechanics, yes or no? You need. For the electrical engineer, does he need to know a little bit of psychology? Should he know psychology? But he doesn't know. Because psychology itself is a type of electronics. The best electronics is in our body. The best of every domain is in our body, whether it's biology or chemistry or electronics or information technology is in our human body. That's why there's one Japanese ad which says that the feet evolved into cars, automobiles. The brain evolved into computers. That is why the mind also works on a binary pattern, computer also works on a binary pattern. The hands evolved into tools, technology. Every part of the body leads to some technology. So everything is interconnected, but education breaks it into tiny parts. We are studying knowledge in silos. Missile technology, what is it? Based on silos. Each missile is in independent silos, not connected with the rest. Because if they get connected, they can explode. That's why they are in complete isolated channels. So each branch of engineering itself, you are studying in silos. But for solutions to the world, you need to interconnect knowledge and wisdom. Not only knowledge, you need wisdom. Which is more important, knowledge or wisdom? Wisdom is far more important. But today, we are increasing in knowledge, but reducing in wisdom. All the world leaders are increasing in knowledge, but reducing in wisdom. But wisdom should be equal or higher importance than knowledge. Because it will determine how you apply knowledge. So Exenomics is based on the principle, know a little, use a lot. Today education is based on use a lot, know a little. I studied trigonometry and all in 10th standard, but I've not used trigonometry at all in my life. So many things we study, millions of bytes of information, but nothing is applicable. But how to create a connection between theory and practice, between knowledge and wisdom, between what you are studying and what you are applying. That is my whole life goal. So Exinomics will enable you to connect everything under the sun and over the sun, all the subjects in the world. Today Sachin Tendulkar is excellent batsman, but his excellent batting is not even affecting the other batsmen. It's not affecting the bowler. It's not affecting anybody in the crowd or in the rest of the country. By the way, let me ask you a question. Who contributes more to the society? Is it the average police constable or Sachin Tendulkar? How many people say Sachin Tendulkar? Please raise your hand. Yeah, don't be ashamed. Raise your hand. About 4 or 5. How many people say average police constable? See, the majority in any audience, they are saying average police constable. But average police constable, you are treating him with low esteem, low respect. But Sachin Tendulkar is given Bharat Ratna. So who is the real hero? He is the average police constable. But this is not recognized because media is pounding you and conditioning your mind. So you cannot recognize reality itself. You are confused. And a few people take a decision and that becomes final. But you youngsters, if your mind begins to work to recognize reality and truth, the country will be transformed. The country will be changed. The world will be changed. Because India is going to supply the muscle for the rest of the world. All the productive jobs of the world will be based out of India and China. In the next 20, more India than China because China has got an aging population. So Exinomics means the study of excellence in all its dimensions. I've asked the principal and his team to introduce Exinomics in this college. It will transform your education, it will transform each individual, it will transform the institution. And it will really ignite the minds to connect with excellence. So in school level, you can study personal excellence. Without personal excellence, you cannot go to organizational excellence. And then design excellence and quality standard excellence. 4 divisions of excellence. Personal excellence, interpersonal excellence, which means communication excellence. All of you must develop your communication ability. You must be able to stand on a stage and speak. You must improve your vocabulary. Don't simply say, hey, macha. Learn to develop your vocabulary. Vocabulary is very powerful. Words are bullets, life-giving bullets. When you improve your vocabulary, your ideas will also begin to multiply. I've created so many new words. Exinomics is one of them, by which every human being can be taught to excel, not just the toppers in a class. Every student in the class, the faculty should start determining what is the strength of each student. You must do a strength analysis, weakness analysis, and enable the student to overcome his weakness and reinforce his strength. Then he will be able to interconnect ideas from different disciplines and endeavors, and that will create solutions for the world. You will create new products, new industries. Steve Jobs was able to marry science and art. How did he do it? Because he dropped out of technology and attended calligraphy classes. And he found the aesthetics, the elegant formation of fonts so attractive, he introduced it in his new products, the Apple products. And that is why they have a USP or unique selling proposition for every Apple product till this date. And therefore, you learn to marry art and science. You learn to marry theory and practice. When you do that, the progeny are leadership and excellence. This is what I said when I went for the British Scholarship for Excellence in Leadership interview in the year 1997. I was the only government servant selected across the country after 2 interviews. So when they said, are you a mediocrity or an excellent person? I said, I am a mediocrity in pursuit of excellence. And I believe that theory should be married with practice. And then the progeny or the children will be leadership and excellence. You'll be a leader in your domain. You'll be a leader in every field. You'll be a creative person. So Exinomics can be introduced from school level. up to postdoctoral levels. And it will connect all the subjects in the world. That interconnectivity is what makes for creativity. When you interconnect an idea in biology with electronics, how the heart works, if you study, it will give you new ideas for electronics. If you study the leaf structure, you have architecture here? Architecture. A leaf structure, you will design new designs for buildings which will be able to breathe like a leaf. Osmosis. So you must interconnect different disciplines. Then that will make you a real excellent engineer or technologist. You'll become an entrepreneur with new ideas, new products. And as a person, you will excel. Many IITians, what they do is they are evolved on the technology side, but they're not able to handle the personal front. One fellow, when the recession started in California, he found he had a lot of debt problems. And what did he do? He shot dead even his brilliant sons who are Fulbright scholars, and killed his wife and then killed himself. Many IAS, IPS officers also doing that recently you have seen. That is because they have not learned how to overcome their limitations. They have only worked on their positive, not on their negatives or their limitations. So there are three concepts which I spoke to you about. Try to internalize it. Without internalizing, my time here is a waste. Unless you internalize it, you will not develop. So that is why I've asked the management to get you the CD, which you play frequently over the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or even much later in life. I've taught that to 2 million people, eqthinking.com. eqthinking.com led me to the academic excellence methodology. Then it also now recently led me to Exenomics. All this is interconnected. So I wish you all the best. How many of you have understood all these concepts? Very good. Don't raise your hand because you are afraid. You really understood, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Wish you all the best.